Hello there! This is a bit of a different filming setup. I am leaning over my sofa to film this. It is 8 p.m. on a Friday and I just got a call from a delivery person and I was like, is this a scam? Because I completely forgot, or I didn't forget, obviously I didn't forget, but I didn't anticipate that this would be shipping out so soon. It is February 24th, and I thought these were only going to start shipping out in like March or something. So here is Jazza's Pro Sketch Pack in collaboration with Spectrum Noir. I ordered this because I'm a sucker for sketchbooks. Obviously love Jazza's products, love Jazza, and I'm always on the hunt for more cool grey tone alcohol markers, so those always dry out on me, so I figured, alright, I skipped out on the last one of these Spectral Noir boxes that he did, even though it was very tempting. I couldn't justify it. I had all those art supplies already, but this time I just did it because why not? So I just decided to start filming real quick here to do a little bit of an unboxing. So we open it up and then we have this like tray with art supplies, like with those kits you used to get as a kid. So we've got the alcohol markers, a little refillable water brush pen. It's very fine tip actually, I like it a lot. 2 blending stumps for my stump collection, a mechanical pencil, which I'm always a sucker for these. Jazza has great taste in mechanical pencils. I like the metal, I like the heavy ones. So excited to play around with this. Graphite, bunch of fine liners. So the brush pen, not this one, where is it? Ought to be this one. So this brush pen, when Jazza was showcasing his first sketch pack thing, I almost bought the entire thing just to try this brush pen. I didn't, but I almost did, so I'm really glad that it's in this pack. White paint pen, the good old Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. I do like these. I find that they don't carry as much ink as I would want them to, but they work really well. They blend really nice. I did really need a new ice gray too. Probably new ice gray 7, but beggars can't be choosers. Regular eraser, kneadable eraser, which is good because my kneadable eraser is getting very dark. A little sharpener. This is also a really cool one where it's got this chunky graphite, so this will be nice for doing a lot of graphite sketching, which I actually haven't done so much of lately. And then a couple colored pencils for sketching, and white, I'm guessing it's a charcoal pencil. Oh, it's a white pastel. So it's sort of a charcoal pencil, white charcoal pencil. Oh, and I think these two are the graphite that dissolves in water. These grayer ones, which is what this is in here for. So you can blend it out as if it's kind of like a watercolor pigment, which I'm also excited to play with because I haven't before. And lastly, we have the restock for that chunky graphite thing. And it was all packaged in this very secure. Everything seems to be one piece, nothing's broken. We open this back up and we have the piece de résistance, which is this really cool container that's got Jazza's mural design embossed on it, which is so cool. It feels really nice. It's pretty cold just because literally it just arrived, so it was probably in that shipping truck for a while, and it is minus 13 degrees outside. So yeah, no, this is really pretty. This is really nice, and it's got all of the space for all these supplies. I'm gonna have to look up how to organize it. It's probably in the sketch booklet that he made, so I'm gonna have to organize everything in here. And then we have this book. I think I'm like so excited, and I've seen a lot of comments say this, but I'm also probably going to say this. Jazza, if you're seeing this, please sell these individually. I can already see myself considering this one of the go-to sketchbooks, and it's just really, it's too good of a product to make it limited, and I don't know what the manufacturing would be like to make this a staple item on the Spectrum Noir store, but I really think you have come on to something amazing to just keep these to sell individually. But that's just my take. The sketching guide, which I'm excited to read through. And then the mixed media book, which is got the color mural. These are all really nice. The quality is really high. This one does have a lot more tooth to it, so it is much better for mixed media. It's probably better for like quicker work. I wouldn't layer too much on it, but I'll definitely take this paper through the paces. Normally I don't have spiral bound sketchbooks, but I'm excited. I probably won't break into this one anytime soon. I like to work one sketchbook at a time, so that means the other ones are also going to have to wait because I just started a new sketchbook in December. But yeah, I'm really excited to have these and to use these later. Alright, excuse the handheld mode for a minute, but I've got everything organized, I think how it's supposed to be. I'm not too sure if this one's supposed to go over here or in here, but for now I put it over here. And then last but not least, we have the sketchbooks going in here, which might not be designed to be put one-handed. There we go, fits perfect, just like it was designed to be. And I also have this that I left out because I want to read it, and then these things go in the little zip here. And yeah, I'll probably do some drawing and stuff with this tomorrow when it's daylight. Right now it's pitch dark outside. If I told my Alexa to turn the lights off, it'd be pure black. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Alexa, hello darkness.
Okay.
So here we are, next day, and here's my sketchbook, and here's the pro sketch collection thing in the daylight on my desk. Like I said last night, I won't be breaking into the sketchbooks right now. I'm a very annoying kind of artist where I really try to only have one sketchbook open. I've only made one exception, and I did not enjoy having two sketchbooks open at the same time, so we're sticking with the good old reliable. And yeah, let's just get swatching. So I like to start off with the alcohol markers. I know what most of these look like just because I've used Spectrum Noir markers before, and I've had alcohol markers for just about, I don't know, 12 years now. So each marker has a brush nib and a bullet nib, which is different from Copics, for example. They have a brush nib and a chisel tip. So it's nice to do more detail work, but for broad areas you're pretty much stuck with your brush nib. But I enjoy the brush nib, it's my favorite, so I don't mind. Just for comparison, here's what the bullet nib looks like. So that one's black. This one we have the lighter warm grey, darker warm grey, lighter cool grey. I had this exact cool grey in Jazz's Jazzy Art Box, which it's gone way dry by now, so have to have another. And then the darker cool grey. So I really like this selection. I actually really appreciate that we have a warm grey and a cool grey because it can give a lot of variety. I feel like the greys is what I use the most, is what I run through the most, what I run out of the most. So I'm very happy to have this extra set to run through in about a year. So these are the pencils from the box. We have 3 color pencils, a blue, a red, a green for under sketching, and then we have 2 water soluble graphite pencils and then a white pastel pencil. So these are more for like construction sketching, so that you can do it in color and then over top use the ink pens, and then it's not as distracting. I've actually even seen some people on TikTok use like highlighters marker wise underneath their alcohol markers or even just fine liners, and it actually looks really cool where the highlighter ink is so light once you add stuff on top that it really doesn't like interrupt or anything. And these are actually much darker because in the Jazz's Jazzy Art Box set he had sent a coat erase, a Prismacolor coat erase, which is what I usually do when I'm sketching with color pencils because you can erase them. And those are really like, they have harder lead, so they're really actually quite light. These are just, I believe, regular color pencils. So I think that it might like easier to get a bit more variation out of these because they're much softer. You might be able to like gradient them a bit as well and blend them. And the white pastel probably won't do so much over the pencils because it just blends, but it'll explode in my hand apparently. It'll go really well over the markers, I think. And now I need to sharpen it. this is a bit of an odd situation. I tried to sharpen it. I tried to use my trusty old sharpener and the tip getting disintegrated again. And same with the one that came in the kit. So for comparison, this is how much I've tried to sharpen this white pastel pencil and it just does not want to stay sharpened. So plan B. So this worked. It's not quite sharp, so I'd have to like take that into consideration when using it. But yeah, I'm not typically a review channel, but I would just like to flag that this pastel pencil might not like your sharpeners that much. And if you're, you know, younger, maybe you'd prefer to get a parent to help you whittle it off to a usable state. Yeah, I just couldn't get it to work with the sharpener, just FYI. Next up, we have the water-soluble graphite, and this I'm really excited to play with because I've never played with anything like this before. I don't even have like good watercolor pencils in this style. I know this paper's not ideal for this, so we're just going to like put that in parentheses for a minute, and I'm just going to go ahead and swatch. So it does smudge a little bit with your hand, probably will smudge more with the blending stumps. But here's the water brush that came with the kit that I'm really excited to try. Ooh, I like that. I feel my problem with these is that you can't, like, you can obviously get there to be more water, but you can't get there to be less water, and especially if you're working with a paper that doesn't like water, it's probably best to also have a regular brush just to distribute the water a bit more so that you don't over soak your page, because again, this paper doesn't like water. So you can really dissolve this to get it quite smooth. Alright, that was the 6B, now we have the 2B. I think with the 2B you can get more variation. The 6B is a really soft lead, so I wasn't quite able to get it to go that light. But as you can see with my little light swatch here, I was able to get it a lot lighter with the 2B. Maybe I'll be able to get a smoother gradient with the water as well. Yeah, I think I like the 2B a lot better. Of course, this is just a small test. I can see myself using these when I'm doing like actual watercolors to give myself that like area of detail that I can then feather out. It's really hard to get like small tiny like bits of darkness in some places when I do watercolor. That's why I always rely a lot on my ink work afterwards. But yeah, these are awesome. To continue the graphite trend, we have this chunky boy. I actually got a smaller version of this type of thing for my birthday for my friend this year. So now I have a big boy and a little boy. To give an example, I did these 2 pages with it when I had it. So let's see if I can do something similar with this. And I would imagine that this is not white water soluble. I mean, no, but it's smudgier. Yep, I like it. Mechanical pencil. This might actually be a 2B. Graphite. It seems a bit dark and smudgy to be an HB. I love how I spent hours last night putting all this in the organizer, and now literally everything is out of its place, but that's all right. I'll put it back. That's the point of getting these things. It's to use them and to play with them. So fine liners next. There's these 2 flex tips, which I've never tried a Spectral Noir fine liner before, so I'm excited to try these. I really have, ever since I went to Japan in 2019 and then also got Jazz's Jazzy Art Box. There was one of these in there. Not these exactly, this type of pen. I have used these a lot. I keep them in my pencil case always because it's really good that you can get like a fine line, but it is a little flexible, so you can get a bit more of the brush pen experience while it being a bit easier to control. So I really like these, and this seems like it's a really dark ink as well, and this one's the same but thicker. Oh, that's a juicy boy. That's awesome. Next we've got 2.0 chisel tip, and then an 0503 and 005. So these are all kind of, I mean, the build, I'll just say the build quality of these is really nice. Like this plastic is really nice quality. It's got this nice metal detail. I do really like the build quality of these. It feels really nice in the hand. It's a little slippery, but I don't mind that at all. And yeah, overall really good first impressions. I love the black, really like thin font design of them. First impressions for these are great. And I will say, in terms of selection, the 005, the 03, and the 05, if you're considering getting this kit for a more beginner artist or someone you're not too sure what they might want to use as a gift for somebody, if I go into like my everyday kit, you have the 03 and the 05, and then the 005, and then you have a flex nib similar. So basically, you know, all these are different brands. This one's Pentel, these three are microns. But like when the microns dry out, I replace them with whatever, probably even these. But like I will say that the selection is impeccable. These are the most used, the most useful, guaranteed. You will find good use of these. I didn't even like stage this. This is literally just in my everyday pencil case that you see in every traditional video that I do. I keep this exact selection of pens. And then lastly, as I mentioned last night, the brush pen that I'm dying to play with because Jazza spoke of it so highly. So it's really thin and it's longer than what would have been the Micron brush pen. And I will say that the Micron version of this brush pen is not my favorite. It gets like frayed very easily. So, oh, it's a bit stiffer, but I like that. Like you can get a very thick line, but like I feel like it's a lot easier to be consistent with it. I'm gonna need 50 more of these, please. Alright, so this is my swatch page. I'm probably not gonna prime this white paint marker for full transparency. I like to only prime the paint markers that I feel like I'm going to use because once you prime them, there's a chance that the nib is going to dry out. And I have already like 2 or 3 white paint markers already in rotation, so I'm gonna hold off on this one. But the rest of it is all swatched, except for the sketchbooks. Again, I'm annoying like that, but I feel like this is more realistic if you're an artist purchasing this. If you don't feel like you're going to deep dive into every single tool right away because you have a lot of stuff in rotation already. So yeah, anyway, alcohol markers, color pencils, the soluble graphite, the chunky pen and the mechanical pencil, then the fine liners and the brush pens. Absolutely love this play, but obviously we don't just want a messy swatch page, we want to draw something. So let's draw something, shall we?
2 hours later.
So this is what I ended up drawing in about 2 hours. I had a lot of fun doing this and I really enjoyed primarily the ink pens. Those were awesome. I really loved the brush pen. I really loved the flex brush pens. The fine liners were great quality as well. I also really enjoyed sketching with color pencils again after so long. It's been a while. And yeah, it was just a really quick flip through to show you what I ended up drawing if you really were more interested in looking at the unboxing. But of course I did record, for the most part, working on these sketches. I ended up running out of storage on my camera halfway through this first spread, so we get a little bit of the mechanical pencil use in sketching out Luffy, and then a little bit of the inking with the brush pen, and then my camera did not continue recording, so that was that. I will say, pro tip, if you're using the kneadable, if you're like switching from like graphite sketch to inking, using the kneadable eraser, like rolling it out like a sausage and then rolling it over your graphite lines is a really good way to lighten everything without completely erasing it. So that's my pro tip in using that, which you'll see me do this here again. I ended up drawing Luffy and Law, and then this is a little Hatsune Miku inspired chibi. I just felt like, you know, I've been drawing so many boys, wanted to draw a cute little girl and a chibi, so this was mainly using the regular fine liners and then colouring in the hair, and then also I decided to use the water-soluble graphite to do the shading. I also really enjoyed that because I'm not too worried about it smudging to the other page. The sketchbook is really smudgy, but the water-soluble stuff, if you're not using water, actually isn't very smudgy, so that was a huge bonus. Here I'm starting with a colour pencil, a red, because my idea here was to draw Bakugo from My Hero. I went to Pinterest, found pose, decided to draw it in. I had a lot of trouble with his expression in this one, but I was able to sort of fix it with the inking, which is the benefit. Even though you can't erase your colour pencils, the colour pencil lines really do fade into the background once you add the ink, which is a huge bonus for that. And then again with the water-soluble graphite to do some like block darkness. I found it's a really nice and effective way to get some areas of darkness in your sketchbook without having to like waste a lot of ink or spend a lot of time trying to get smooth. And then I was just doing some quick other pose studies with just on Pinterest with a green one. I just like copied a couple things here and there just to continue to get warmed up and to fill up more sketch pages really. And then the last page that I did was more in the style of what I did for the law drawing that did not get recorded. So this was just Zuko from Avatar, because I was reading some Avatar fanfiction not long ago, and I did it in the same style, using the red to do the under sketch, then bringing in the flex liners to do the inking, and using the alcohol markers to do some shading. And yeah, overall I'm very happy with the sketch kit. I filled in 6 pages of my sketchbook in about 2 hours. I had a lot of fun with it today. I hope you enjoyed it. Would I recommend this product? 100% I would. If you don't have too many duplicate products, or if these are the things that tend to run out for you like they do for me, it's really great value. And yeah, thanks so much for putting together such a cool product, Jazza. I'll see you all sometime.